What is the crack, everyone? It's Ollie from B2B Sports. We're back again. This time we're talking about the England national football team, the men's team to be precise. It's international break yet again, and it's come with a little bit of controversy. 8 players have pulled out after being initially called up to the side by Lee Carsley and have returned back to their Premier League clubs. Harry Kane has come out in a recent ITV interview to say that playing for England should be a priority over playing for club, and it sparked a bit of debate. But before we jump into it, whack the like button, give my channel a subscription, it means the world. Football, NFL, F1, UFC, the lot. The B2B Sports podcast channel has got you covered. Much love, guys. Cole Palmer, Levi Colwill, Alexander-Arnold, just to name a few, have recently pulled out and have gone back to their clubs after being called up to the England national side. Now, I do think these players are prioritising the Premier League, having a little bit of pressure put on them by their clubs to return fit and healthy for the busy Christmas fixture period. Possibly. England football team are in the Nations League group stages at the minute. They're currently second place in the league behind Greece. It's been a bit of a rocky period with Lee Carsley, interim manager, in charge. Gareth Southgate leaving after the Euros. A lot of change, a lot of experimenting, and it's just felt a bit naff, hasn't it? Let's be real, we've got to be honest on this channel. It's felt naff in comparison to the high stakes of the Premier League, the Champions League, the European competitions, English Cup competitions. Going back to international football, playing Ireland, Finland, I mean, yeah, it's just dead. It just has to be said, it's dead. As a football fan, there's nothing worse than coming out of a summer of major tournament football back into the swing of the Premier League, and then you have 3 international break weekends in the space of a couple of months for just dead rubber games, essentially. After another heartbreaking loss in the Euros final, it's just not what you want to be watching right now. I'm still not over that Spain defeat, and yeah, I'd rather be waiting a little bit longer before jumping back into England internationals. Surely they should seriously consider the international schedule. I mean, 3 international weekends congested between September, October, November. It just doesn't make sense to me. Why don't you spread it out a little bit more? And I may be the only one here, but when you're in the swing of Premier League football and you look ahead at the schedule and you go, oh, another international break, it just kills momentum, it just kills the mood. And in particular in this circumstance, Thomas Tuchel coming in at the beginning of January, it just seems like such a dead period of international football. I mean, do the players really want to play for Lee Carsley right now? When Tuchel comes in, there'll be a fight for places, fight for that 2026 World Cup squad. But there just doesn't seem to be anything to play for right now. And maybe Harry Kane is more of a nationalist than I am. And he kind of has to be, considering he's the England captain and the face of the nation. But yeah, it just doesn't fill me with much hope and much excitement. I think as a whole, football has a massive problem with the schedules, with the amount of games to be played. You know, this new Champions League format, this new Nations League format. It's just all adding games into the calendar. Players can't keep up with it. That's why you're seeing these massive squads, particularly at Chelsea right now. You know, people slagged it off at the beginning of the season having an A and B side. But I think in the Premier League, I think we have one of the fewest amount of injuries, and the fixture build up, the want for more and more games is only going to add to more injuries, more players dropping out in international breaks. There has to be a limit, and as a pro footballer, you are going to start to prioritise the bigger fixtures, i.e. the massive Premier League games, the Champions League games, over an international break where you're playing Finland. And of course, if you reduce the games on the calendar, you'd have less players dropping out through injury, more players available for England. I can see the argument from both sides, but I can understand why more and more withdrawals from the international squad are happening. And to be honest with you, I don't blame them in the slightest. But don't get me wrong, when the Euros and World Cup are on, I'm fully invested, fully supporting England. And if you were to give me the scenario of England winning the World Cup or Euros over Chelsea winning the Champions League or the Premier League, of course I'd choose my country to win a major title. But these friendlies and Nations League games, they just don't hit it. Let us know your thoughts and opinions on the England withdrawals and Harry Kane's comments in the media. Does something need to be done about this ever-growing fixture list? But thank you very much for for watching and listening. I hope you enjoyed the video, and peace out.